Oh, we're going to be in trouble. Look at that. One strike, 5 pieces fall.
Do you guys... Ready, Freddie?
Ready, Freddie?
Let's pop a top. And proceed accordingly. With the Fireside chat. Where rumors across the internet are spreading that the fire may or may not be as hot as it once was.
There may be some truth to said rumors. It's a distinct possibility.
You know about VFX? Mm-hmm. You're a big VFX guy.
VFX.
You could program that for us.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, what's your little choice soda pop over there?
This is a First Form Energy Blue Blitz. First time trying it.
Oh my gosh, what a name.
Pretty
Blue
good.
Blitz.
Yeah, I think that's their blue raspberry or something like that. It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, you want to talk about your first sponsored athlete deal?
Well, I've been listening to Real AF for 4 years.
And you are an athlete.
That's a stretch. But I actually accepted what do you call that? Ambassador.
Just a little brand deal or whatever, yeah?
Little brand deal with them.
Yeah.
I like their products. I like what they are offering, and try to work together a little bit.
Yeah.
So, First Form Energy.
Have you got a chance to meet Andy yet?
I have not.
Well, he'd probably like to have you on the pod.
I would look forward to. I don't know if
Would you guys swear a lot?
I don't know if I'm important enough, and yeah, we would probably argue over who said fuck more.
Yeah.
I'd probably win, but he might.
Yeah. I don't think you got to be that important to be on a podcast. Just maybe have an interesting conversation, you know?
Yeah, it's actually.
Is he a bow hunter?
I don't know. I don't think so, but
He
it's.
needs to be.
I don't think he hunts.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. Well, no, hang on. I'm trying to remember. Frick. Yeah. Next question. I don't remember. Yeah, no, they're in St. Louis, Missouri. It's like 10 hours away from the Nashville place. Mm-hmm. Drove through there on the big epic road trip and stopped there and found out you're not allowed to actually come by without an appointment. So
Without a permission slip?
yeah. So yeah, but yeah, no, I'm liking their stuff.
Wow.
I've had I actually got a sampling of all their energy drinks like 2 months ago.
I say, what are their products that have been your favorite so far?
Their meat sticks are really good. Their all their supplements are good. They sent me a little care package to try first to see if I liked the stuff before we tried to work something out. I don't think I've had an energy drink of theirs I didn't like. They were all good. They're not. I don't get too wired out, but I also think I'm immune to caffeine at a certain point. Like I have so much of it, I don't really notice the ups so much. I notice the downs if I don't take it. That's for sure. I feel like a sluggish little boy. But now they sent me a bunch of vitamin supplements, proteins, meat sticks, protein bars. Honestly, some of the best protein bars I've ever had. Their protein bars are really good, but the meat sticks are really good too. Their protein powder is not gritty at all. Like mixing it with water is not ever a problem. It tasted really clean, really smooth, which I'm not a big protein powder guy, but I am trying to ingest more protein every day, and now that I've gone to like a really long fast, it's hard to get enough protein in.
Yeah.
Because I'm only eating like 4 hours a day.
Do you notice that protein helps with your appetite control?
Yeah. No, it does a real good job. And like I said, their protein bars, the different flavors and whatnot, I don't think I've tasted ones that tasted better. And they're all low sugar items in general, most of their stuff. Their supplements are real good too. Their vitamins and whatnot. I tried a couple different ones that I didn't have like weird burps or anything like that. You know, some of that stuff that you get, it's just like it's leaves a nasty taste or irritates you.
Yeah.
Because I'm on such a long fast, I try to have my vitamins in the morning, and it's on an empty stomach.
Yeah, that's hard.
It's very hard.
And then your piss comes out neon.
Yeah, it glows. For sure. The first half of the day, my pee looks really weird.
So if you guys see Josh's mohawk glimmering in the next couple of weeks, you'll know why. He's all hopped up on supplements.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I am trying to be a little bit more cognizant of my health. I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to really feel it. I'm getting old. It hurts.
Yeah. That's cool.
Getting old is not for wusses.
That's a good step.
Yeah. Well, it's something.
What's working out look like in your future?
Honestly, I've been thinking about it a lot. Like I really have. I want to get past hunting season because I'm only a week and a half from when I go antelope hunting.
During hunting season's a total show to try to.
Yeah, from there on throughout the whole end of the year is going to be a bit of a disaster. Brandon's convinced me to trail run, and I've started doing that a little bit. And that
When's the last time you ran?
It's been since I was in Nashville last.
Right, but prior to that, like
for like forever.
Yeah.
Although I've always, there was a period of time there when I was still married that I was actually like running daily.
How your joints feeling?
Surprisingly good, although my knees in here are not great on downhill stuff. Like if I'm a lot of downhill stuff, it gets uncomfortable. But I think that's just an indicator that I do need to work it. I do need to exercise them and strengthen them. So I think there will be a period of time here in the near future where I'll start running a pretty decent amount. I thought about just running the 3D course. You know, like run and shoot, or like every fourth one, shoot an arrow at, so you get your heart rate up and you stop for a second and shoot one, as opposed to like running to the next one and shooting that. I don't think you're going to get your heart rate up enough. But yeah, I've thought about doing that, just put a pedometer on and try to get my heart rate going.
Well, we got the world's greatest hill about 1.5 miles that way.
Yes, I'm very aware. I've gone up there before.
And you could go right by and pick up your neighbor, too.
You could, very well. 100%.
Get him out there.
Give him a little run.
Little motivational speech.
Yeah, little motivational runner there.
Yeah.
Yeah, my neighbor just poured concrete yesterday.
Yeah, your neighbor.
And apparently, I just went to actually talk to him this morning.
You know what, you ought to get over there and just do a little micromanaging of the job site.
That'd be hilarious.
It feels good just to show
up.
up.
A funny YouTube video.
There's nothing funnier than showing up at somebody else's work and being like, "Oh, are you doing that right?" You know, "Oh, that looks a little off."
He sold the double wide.
Yeah.
Somebody bought it.
So Josh is talking about his neighbor Dan.
Yeah, he has a 50-year-old double wide, and he sold it.
That's awesome.
And he sold it for way more money than I thought. Well, I guess Riley sold it. Dan said, "I'll give you a commission. You deal with it. I don't even want to deal with it."
Yeah.
Riley got it sold.
Sounds like a win-win.
Yeah, it's gone in like the next week or two.
Wow.
So yeah, it's coming along over there. I'm not sure how long it's going to take him to finish the build, but I imagine at least 6 months, 8 months.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it's not a tiny house.
What's exciting to build what you want, you know. Not everyone will ever really get a chance to do that. So it'd be pretty cool to kind of build what you want from the ground up. And then he's just going to be peering right over you.
Yeah.
Probably have a back deck looking right with a spotter looking.
Yeah, we might just set them up pointing at each other. Yeah. Like, "What you doing, creeper?"
Yeah, go out in the evening and put a little.
I'll have to find me
a little mirror, and you can glimmer them with the light.
I wonder if I can find like a rubber bullet or something. That can shoot from here. That's just to fuck with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there could be a whole fun series of YouTube videos around all of this stuff.
Well, it's good to have good neighbors, man. If you've never been to this area, like this shop is in a pretty cool area. It's the unregulated side of Spokane.
That's right.
Right.
So we are not in the city limits. We are in the county.
Some freedom right here.
Definite level of no HOAs, no restrictions. I mean, there's still restrictions.
Yeah.
You're still going to have your units graded as something like ours. We're semi-rural agricultural is what it's based at. But yeah, we're right on the edge of the populace though. Like you can look across the road and be like, quarter acre lots.
Yeah, exactly.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, but supposedly like Spokane, my cousin's in the building side of things, and they're not even going to review any other parcels till 2026, and it'll take 2 years for any of that to go through before you can even subdivide anything. Like they're in the valley, they're not looking at anything. So it'll be a while before you see any major incursion changes. And then everything to the right of us here was all broken up into 5 acre lots forever ago. So now you got 5 acre pieces. These are all supposed to be 10s or more this direction. So everything this side of Saltese is a 10 acre minimum parcel. And it's just a matter of time before they go, well, maybe we let that go. And then you'll have a nice house with a 10 acre lot and then a development with 40 houses on it right next door. If they go that route in little quarter acres or whatnot. So which just tends to be the evolution of housing, and then it's another one of those reasons to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Like too many people too close together. I'm a firm believer that we're not supposed to be this close to each other. We're supposed to have neighbors and have relationships with those neighbors and that sort of thing, but they're not supposed to be like right on top of you.
It's nice to know your neighbors too.
Yeah. I think that's part of where the animosity and the tension and shit comes from in human beings. I think if they spread out a little more, we'd be a lot different.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah, and the more people you get in small spaces, the more rules that come with.
Yep, trying to regulate things.
Next thing you know, you got people walking around with little baggies, picking up their dog's shit. Yeah, things get weird in cities. Small, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, all that to be said is my perspective is a little skewed because I mean, I grew up in small town USA in the countryside, and I loved where I grew up. I grew up with a ton of freedom, and I really value that now as I get older.
Yeah, freedom's hard to beat, man. I definitely feel a difference, especially like I'm in Tennessee a lot now. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty free state. Mm-hmm. You know, they're pretty cool. And in a small town in Tennessee to boot, I mean, I call it Nashville North, but we're technically in Ashland City, which is only 20 minutes
like adjacent
away from
to,
down.
Basically.
Yeah, it's the next town. Like if you're going northwest out of Nashville, it's the next town you're going to run into. And like I said, from the downtown hub, it's only 20 minutes. So it's not terribly far. I mean, I can't get to the other side of Spokane in 20 minutes. Right. So it's close, but it's not technically there. And the other direction, if you keep going that way, you run into Clarksville, which is also massively growing fast. Eventually, they're going to all run into each other. There's a lot of hill country up there that is going to be costly to develop. So it'll be a period of time before they get to that point. But when they start running out of dirt you can build houses on, eventually they'll start developing the hill countries.
Yeah, I was surprised at the topography of Tennessee. Like, there's more hills, more topography than I expected.
Oh, yeah,
like it's not Nebraska.
I think well, you're not wrong, and I think a lot of places surprise you if you haven't been there, but you just think of oh, that's flat.
Yeah,
this is flat. This is flat. It's like no, there's actually a lot of terrain. None of it's super high, but there's a lot of up and down, like a ton of up and down. It's a really cool area, and I really enjoy it out there. Like it's been a breath of fresh air.
It's been a breath.
I look forward to every time I go down there.
It's been a breath of fresh ass.
Something like that.
You know what that's from?
I don't know what that.
Wild Wild West, Jim West.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. That's wow. You're going way back in your tool bag on that one.
Yeah, Will Smith, baby.
Yeah.
Wild Wild West.
That was a weird movie.
Yeah.
It was a flat weird
to
movie.
rewatch that would probably be weird, but at the time I thought it smacked pretty hard.
Oh, you were digging it?
Yeah.
I was like, who thought this weird crap up? Yeah.
Speaking of, have you seen Stick?
No, you've asked me. I think you asked me that last time.
Did I really?
Yeah,
I might have asked it to you in conversation, but not on here.
Well, I'm going to. I haven't yet.
Yeah.
I've heard it's really good.
You're a Ted Lasso guy, weren't you?
Love Ted Lasso.
Yeah. So Stick has like a little bit of a Ted Lasso vibe. You got a coach, a mentor, mentoree, and it's like one of those first shows I watched in a while, including Ted Lasso. That was like, wow, that has like, it could be really special if they continue to develop it. I mean, even the first season was great, but it could be one of those that like people talk about down the road if they really.
Is it currently just one season, or is
one season on Apple TV?
You know when the second one's up? Yeah, because I usually prefer.
I don't know if they renewed it either.
Yeah, if they do, like I usually like to get a couple seasons in before I start watching it.
Yeah.
So if I get into it, I can just pound it out. But dude, I don't have time.
I know, but then you've watched every movie ever, so you watch them somewhere.
If it came out like 15 years ago or older, yeah, I've watched all of it probably. But in the last 10 to 15, it's been very selective.
Yeah.
So I used to have a lot of time.
Oh, you got to watch something on the airplane.
Yeah, I rewatch the same crap a lot. I really do.
Yeah.
That's not a bad plan, though. I could do that for sure.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I don't know what it was that hit so hard for me for Ted Lasso. It just, I related a lot. Mm-hmm. And always trying to remain positive, always trying to find the good in everything. And it's such a great show. So if it gives you Ted Lasso vibes, I'll watch it for
a little bit, for sure.
But I heard they're making a season 4. They weren't gonna, and now they are.
Ted Lasso?
That's what I heard, but that could have been fake news. I don't know. I had to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Ted come back for another season. It never got stale for me. I thought it was a pretty cool story.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. But he originally, from what I was told, Jason Sudeikis agreed to 3 seasons only and didn't want to continue going.
Yeah, now they want to renegotiate.
Yeah, well,
Stick was.
I thought it was actually just a firm. I only want to dedicate this much of my life to this.
Stick was it was a good role for Owen Wilson. Like,
yeah,
you know, Owen Wilson kind of plays a prototypical role. This one's a little different. It's a little more mature for sure, and I think he handles it.
Ted Lasso season 4 is officially in production.
Oh my God, you heard it here first.
Pretty on. Production began in late July.
Breaking the news.
Yeah. Here's the breakdown. So some people are back and some people aren't, and that kind of thing.
No.
Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah.
Looks like most of the main characters are back.
I hate that they're on Apple TV because Apple TV's only got like a couple of really good series.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I do really like that there are these other option things where maybe your stereotypical norms aren't abided by, like the standard gatekeepers, but now you got to have Netflix and Hulu and Apple TV and Prime and Peacock and all that, like original networking shows for like CBS. Like what? Come on. But yeah, there have been some really good ones on Apple TV, but only a couple. And they appear different. Like I don't know what it is about them, but they seem different.
Yeah.
Off that network.
Yeah. Once you watch Stick, I mean, I think I could go on a good long rant about it, probably off the pod, about how they went about it, because I thought it was pretty interesting. They used a lot of natural light, which is pretty uncommon in those kind of productions.
Yeah? Really?
Yeah.
Old natty light?
Yeah. But I wanted to, we like TV, but this is the Fireside Chat, and we talk about archery. I want to talk about bulletproofing bows, and particularly like our next couple episodes, we'll be a little more hunting focused. Try to maybe ramp up towards season or give the people something to listen to on their way to camp.
Sure.
So when we think about a blank slate, we build the bow. Now what? Now we want to go hunt with it. What are the things we should be thinking about checklist wise?
Well, obviously you want to make sure everything's dialed. Your broadheads and field points are hitting in the same spot. Everything's exactly where you want it to be. And then the next stage,
that's broadhead tuning.
That's broadhead tuning, yeah, and that's orientating the arrow rest position or string cable position or wheeling position, timing, etc. To get those things to hit in the exact same spot.
Yeah,
and then once you've
which
done
is ultimately what a tuned bow is, right?
Well, that's what a tuned bow is supposed to be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's got one, right? Some people would say a bear shaft tuned bow is a tuned bow. Some people would say a French tuned bow is a tuned bow. Some people would say a paper tuned bow is a tuned bow. I don't believe a bow's tuned to your broadhead and field point hitting the same spot within a given reasonable distance. You start getting past like 80, 90 yards and the drag coefficient of your broadhead will change and you won't get them to hit in the same spot no matter what you do.
Yep.
But in general, like out to 60, your broadhead and field point need to hit in the same spot. And that's important not just from a convenience standpoint of not having to move your sight. That infers that the transfer of energy is being as equal as possible.
So
when the broadhead and field point don't hit in the same spot, that means that they're not orientating equal. So there's a little left wobble or a little right wobble or a little high or low wobble causing energy loss. And at the end of the day, you want to transfer as much energy as possible. So getting those to shoot the same is super important. So even for those guys out there that just want to shoot a mechanical broadhead, I would still shoot a fixed blade broadhead and see what happens. If you get some really erratic flight, you might want to take a little note on what's going on with your bow.
Which is why I think you hear the stories sometimes, or the stories arise where someone's like, hey, I heard about so-and-so out in Colorado, and, he shot a light arrow at a mule deer and it bounced off.
That's one instance of why you would see that.
It
could be issues with the broadhead type, things of that nature, but in general, it's poorly tuned equipment.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with why things don't penetrate.
Yeah. Because, dude gets ready before season and maybe he's not even aware of it. He's just strapped a rest on for a first time, goes hunting, and gets no energy behind it. Or maybe it's like a 400 spine arrow through a 70-pound bow and got a long draw length.
Well, sure, but a lot of that also has to do with the size of animal that you're hunting and the type of equipment you're choosing to use too. It was amazing when the first year that, this is way back in the memory, but when Primos had always shot, like a fixed blade broadhead, and they switched to Rage. The first year, and dude, the amount of penetration difference was so crazy. Like you'd see them shoot like sailing right through an elk, right? And then that year when they all switched to Rage, there's this much arrow hanging out the side of the animal every time they shoot one. It's like, oh, what happened? Did we just all of a sudden change our arrows? Like, no, you just went to a broadhead that doesn't penetrate as good, and that's has a lot to do with it too. But poor energy loss is a big factor in penetration.
I always cringe when I see somebody shoot a whitetail and you'll see the arrow go a third of the way in. Yeah. And the thing's flapping around and they're excited because they shot a deer and that deer goes down. And I'm like, okay, that was the best possible situation. They got that deer, but maybe they hit it a little forward and then all of a sudden they don't. or they hit it in a bad spot and it doesn't get into the vitals. And it could be for a variety of those reasons that you just described: lack of energy transfer, broadhead selection, untuned arrow, or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you're shooting something like mid-sized to smaller game, I mean, man, 2 holes or at least getting your arrow most of the way through the cavity is like, that should happen.
Yeah, it kind of blows my mind that certain broadheads don't seem to even penetrate through a deer.
Yeah.
Like with an adult male's size, like 70 pounds, 29 inches, that kind of stuff. Like how are you not passing through a deer?
And you hear that sound when they hit too. It just sounds like a, whap. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
whap. Like,
nothing sinking. It just sounds like you're hitting your wall with a 2x4, So.
Not good.
Yeah. And you can get, I mean, yes, they get away with it sometimes. They get an arrow 4 to 6 inches in there and that's enough. But man, that's freaking scary.
Right?
Yeah.
It's definitely not encouraging.
So yeah, let's get back to Bulletproof and the old bow. So we want to be broadhead tuned.
Okay, so once you got everything broadhead tuned, the next course of action should be to go around to every screw and bolt on your bow and tighten it down. Make sure it's all super snug. Then go back and check your tune again. Make sure you didn't accidentally shift anything. And if at that point everything's still dialed, you want to get your old silver Sharpie out and start drawing all over your bow. Like where your arrow rest lines up on your riser, multiple different positions. Where your windage and elevation crosses on your arrow rest, draw those in. Where your cable crosses across your cam, where your cam crosses across your limb, where your limb bolt attaches to your limb pocket. Orientate those things to where you can draw a line on them so if it shifts and moves, you'll see it.
Yeah, maybe take a photo of your cam and where your strings cross the timing holes or whatever.
Sure. In that scenario, I'd just draw a silver line on either side of it. So it's,
Right on.
I mean, if you move a half a twist, you can look at it and go, hey, that's not lined up anymore.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple on those scenarios, but marking everything with a silver pen is awesome because it just, you could have it come loose and put it back where it was and be relatively close to dialed. Even your first axis on a sight, if you draw around the edge of it and it moves just a little bit, you can usually see where it's at. So that's always a good, solid indicator. And once everything's dialed, I probably would. It's the only time that I would typically ever wax a string is when I know I'm going in the field because they get jacked up in the field.
Yeah,
they just really do.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I would typically ever add wax. Outside of that, I try not to. It wouldn't hurt to give it one coat right before you go. Just help keep some of that weather off of it, some of that dust, some of that grime. Because man, strings get jacked up so easily.
Yeah. And what would you say is the main thing that someone comes in during season and they're like, oh, this happened? Like, oh, my bow's jacked up. Or what's the most common thing someone does to jack up their bow?
Derail or dry fire.
Okay.
You'd be amazed how often a guy we'll get a couple of them a year where a guy accidentally cuts his string with his blade when he's trying to load his bow. You'll get those. You'll get ones where the guy, like he cut his arrows a little too short, puts his broadhead blade on, draws it back, the knock pulls off a little bit, or he draws it back super hard, like animals in front of him, he's jacked, and the blade touches the launcher and pulls the arrow off just enough, and he doesn't realize it, and kaboom. You always get some of those, or a guy goes to set his bow down and string misses the cam because he was just in an awkward position and didn't really take it carefully to set it down. There's so many different ways you can actually derail your bow or mess something up
Or
to
maybe
where it's
someone
like
just-
catastrophic.
Just draws it back in their whitetail stand without an arrow in it or whatever.
Yeah, and something lets go
Yeah.
accidentally. Yeah, it's all possible, right? And in that scenario, there's probably, depending on the bow that you have, a 50-50 chance that the cam's bent.
Yeah.
If that happens. Like, just because you can put it back on doesn't necessarily mean it's okay. And make sure, be very cautious on cam bends. You can, a lot of times if the cam's bent, when just go to draw it back again, it'll pop off. And then cause more damage yet. So that's really where having a backup bow is huge. I mean, even if it's like a 5-year-old bow, it's not like hardly worth anything. It's not a bad thing to have. If something goes awry, does it function? Is it sighted in? Is it tuned? Yeah, go grab that, go hunting. I frequently do it. I almost always take 2 on any kind of trip because it's like if something goes wrong with that, yeah, I can fix it. Sure, I've had to do it before, but do I want to spend the time fixing it or do I want to spend the time hunting?
Right.
It's like, just hand me the other bow, let's go. Unless it's something tiny, then I'll fix it. But yeah, an extra bow, which I know that some people that sounds ridiculous. It's like,
yeah.
I can't waste money on that. It's
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, but what if it was like a 4-year-old Alaskan XT? That's probably $300,
Right.
somewhere in there, right? That's not a lot of money, you know. So maybe an old used bow hanging around as a secondary isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody happens to be your size and is just getting rid of an old bow because they buy a new bow every 2 years and they're not going to keep an old one around, you know, maybe pick it up for $200, $300. Throw it in a case. Take it with you on a trip. You know, if you're gonna, we work so hard for the entire year to take that week of hunting season or whatever, you know, or I'm fortunately blessed that I get to hunt a lot now, so it's not the same thing. But in general, most people are working all year to take a week off to go hunting. You know, outside of providing for their family or whatever their intent is, right? That their own personal selfish thing is usually I'm going hunting for a week and I'm just going to take off. It's an awful lot of work to not have a backup option.
Well, and it's a small insurance policy.
Yeah. Well, and like if you hunt in front in like a group of guys and there's like 4 of you and you're all kind of similar sized, you can all freaking share one, right? It's like, hey, this will fit, you know, all of us. You know, if something goes wrong, it's roughly sighted in. Grab it in camp, put the target out, adjust the sight a little bit, and go.
Yeah, go get your 20, 30, 40 and go hunting.
Just make sure it's tuned. You can always move the sight. As long as it's chucking an arrow straight out of the bow, it should fly fine with a broadhead. And just have a spare. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, I can pick up a bow that's 2 inches wrong for me and still shoot it decently. You know, just to have that opportunity, because man, that time's sacred. And it seems, I don't know how to even describe it really, but those instances, you know, when you're in the field, especially with buddies or brothers or however you refer to your guys as, there's something about that that's just so awesome. It's hard to sacrifice any of that time, or hard to put a value on losing some of that time.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to bastardize any of that.
Yeah.
Because I agree. It's a small insurance policy.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and you know, there's nothing wrong with having an old used bow if it comes down to it. Big deal. You know, as long as it's something they still make parts for, if something goes awry, it's going to have a value. So
yeah.
So in that scenario, I would probably gravitate towards Matthews because you know they sponsor me for everything. Just look in the comments, you'll find that. They keep making parts. They're one of the only companies that will continually make parts for everything they've ever made. So if you're going to buy a 3, 5, 7-year-old bow, that's probably a good one to buy, because if a cam caves in or a limb breaks, you can pick up a phone, or your dealer can pick up a phone, buy a part. You can pay $100 for a limb or whatever the cost is, and replace it, and it's still a functioning product. Whereas if you took another brand, 5 years or farther, in a lot of instances, they just stop making parts, and you'll still have a warranty if you're the original purchaser of said brand, whatever one it is. But they'll end up just replacing your bow. They'll say, hey, this is equivalent. This is the closest equivalent we currently make to what you had. We're just going to give you a new bow and throw that away.
Yeah.
Or they'll send it back in and they throw it away.
Yeah, shout out to the Matthews Monster, one of the fastest bows of all time.
It's a beefcake, dude. It's an absolute beefcake. But yeah, like I said, if you're gonna buy an old used bow, and that's a really good brand, just because you're always going to be able to get a part. Nothing sucks more than putting a whole bunch of money into an old used bow that you don't have a warranty on. Something breaks and you can't buy a replacement part for it. That's the problem. And most brands look at it from a dollar and cent standpoint, where Matthews looks at it from a standpoint of we want to be able to service our customer forever, no matter what. So if we made it, we stand behind it. We'll keep building it. They'll pull up a CNC machine and make a cam for a bow made in 1994, and they'll still make it.
Yeah, that's crazy. So they're just saving the old, whatever they needed, data points to make that.
Yeah.
And they'll have a guy go in and program it to.
Oh, sorry. They have all the programs. They have all the what do you call it? The tooling for holding things, right? For cutting it, and they'll just go get X machine over here and load up the program and make a 29-inch cam for the Matthews original bow. I believe it was called the original, if I remember right. But yeah, like that was 92. It was 1992. But yeah, they still make parts, and you can buy the part. It's not cheap, but you at least can fix something that you own, no matter what.
Right. Yeah. So say weeks away from striking off on your first adventure?
Should be a week and a half
Yeah.
for my first fall adventure.
Yeah. What's your like ramp up to that looking like for you? Like, what are the things you're doing?
I'm shooting.
I know you start getting serious about shooting your bow right now.
Yeah, I've shot my bow like 3 days in a row at my cousin's. Like I'll get there at like 5 o'clock and I'll stay there till we can't see, and we'll shoot. We'll sit and wait for the wind to calm down because there's frequently a breeze. So we'll just kind of BS and chat and plan on what we're doing. But then as soon as the wind stops, all right, shoot, go pull arrows, and we'll shoot out to usually end up closing with like 190 yards. That's about as far as I can chuck an arrow with a setting, and shoot 6-8 arrows. He'll shoot 6-8 arrows, and we'll drive a Polaris down and pull them out of the target and turn back around, drive back to the shop. And the coolest setup, and I really hope to duplicate this in a couple different places because it's just so fun, but you can stand in the shop. So if it's raining, if it's windy, if it's whatever, you're in the cover. We got music on, a couple of, roller chairs, and just having a good time. And the beauty of it is no matter what the weather's like, you can still, comfortably fire. You might be shooting into the wind, you might be shooting into weather or whatnot, but you can, no matter what, you can point, aim, and hold well. So it's a great setup. And every year when it rolls around to like mid-July, normally I get started a little earlier. My travel schedule's been horrible. I got home Sunday. I think it was Sunday. Yeah. I think so. God, what day was it? I don't know, something like that. And I've been, I'm pretty sure I got home Sunday and been home since. No, wait a minute. Dude. No, it was a Monday. Yeah, it was a work day, I'm pretty sure. Heck, I can't keep it straight. I've been home for over a week, though.
Yeah.
It was midweek somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that day was such a blur. I got stuck in Minneapolis for like 6.5 hours. They flew us out of Minneapolis at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh God!
I was supposed to be home at like 10. Yeah. It's like, all right, I'll get home at a decent time. I'll get a good night's sleep. I pulled into here or Ubered into here at almost 5 a.m.
Yeah. Life on the road is not glamorous.
It's brutal. I fell asleep in the airport. Like I put my feet up on something. I leaned back in a chair and woke up like a half hour, 45 minutes later, and there was a bunch of people with inflatable mattresses out on the ground. Like they brought over stuff for people to lay down.
Dang.
Yeah. Well, it was a bad delay. Like it was supposed to be an hour layover. It ended up being 6.
That's tough.
Well, the funny part is I was supposed to go through Atlanta, and there was a bunch of weather in Atlanta, and it was already showing my flight was delayed.
Yeah.
So when I got to the airport, I was like, hey, can you reroute me through somewhere else? There was a flight through Salt Lake City and there's a flight through Minneapolis. They put me on the flight to Minneapolis, get to Minneapolis, and then it immediately says it's delayed by like 3 hours. And lo and behold, where was the crew coming from? Atlanta. Like, what's the freaking point of that?
Yeah. Well, that's what happens is it's all cars in a row. They may not look like that, but when one airport gets jacked up, it delays everything because crews and planes and
all those people are getting on another plane and going somewhere else. Yeah. It's frequently been when I've had delays. It's 90. It seems like 95% of the time you're waiting for the crew to get there because they're coming from a delayed flight somewhere else. So and weather's a real thing. Like it affects all of that. But anyway, I've started shooting every night for over like a 4-hour period of time, 4 hour, 5 hours, somewhere on there. And just dialing in the distances. I'm going to switch over to broadheads here probably today or tomorrow. And I'll shoot at least 4 or 5 nights a week. A lot of arrows, a lot of reps. Shooting a Lift X 33 with 80 plus pounds and a really light arrow. But I can get out there a long ways, and I love dialing it in and out. It just makes you feel like 100 is like really close and you're really perfect. If you can keep it on the target at 190, you're probably pretty good at 100.
Yeah. You've found some pretty consistent success on your pronghorn hunts over the last couple of years, huh?
Last 3 years, I've killed an antelope all 3 years.
So you're kind of starting to dial in a program for pronghorn. So what's your day-to-day look like down there?
It's a lot of glassing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of trying to find,
and
locate.
Does it feel like, is it a more casual hunt, or are you guys pushing real hard?
We always get up and go. It's never a dick around kind of thing. I think we're all relatively driven in that regard.
Yep.
We're there to hunt antelope, and we're not there to just dick off. When we get back to camp at night, we'll all hang around foods and drinks and whatnot, and just telling stories and that kind of stuff. And we might end up on 5 hours of sleep or 4 hours of sleep. You never know. But and a lot of times midday, if it's hot, you go back to camp and try to get out of the heat for a little bit before you go out and hunt in the evening, eat something, that kind of thing. But it's mostly hunting. But once somebody shoots something, we have access to a walk-in cooler, but it's over an hour away. So frequently 2 guys will jump in the truck and drive back to where the walk-in is while the other guys are hunting, which is what happened to me last year. I actually harvested first, and on the way back, Brandon had shot an antelope, and it was bigger than the one I shot. Got the belt. Some bitch. Oh, I must reclaim. But yeah, it's just a good time with good guys, man. I love that trip.
Yeah.
And I love antelope hunting. They're fun.
So you're spending a lot of time getting up to high points and just
glassing, trying to locate, and then trying to figure out where they're going and see if you can get in front of where they're going.
mostly binos, or are you busting out spotters too?
Both. Both. There's always a spotter and binos. We got a couple of buggies, couple of pickups, so we can go in groups of 2 or 3 and go in different directions and just get out. Because it's all flat and open for the most part. I mean, there's some mountains up there that are in the unit that we hunt in, but it's still so freaking open. Even in there, there's like very little trees. There's very little places to hide well. And there's some taller brush and whatnot, but if you get up into elevation and look down, which is kind of the beauty of it, is you're going to see them, you're going to find them, and you're going to have a hard time losing them. Like if you stay on one, you will see where it goes no matter what. So it's watching the topography and habits and trails and whatnot and go, okay, well, they're right there right now. Looks like they're probably going that direction. Can we get out in front of them and hopefully they work their way to us?
And they're a little spastic too, right? Like,
oh yeah, they're called speed goat for a reason.
Yeah.
Man, that thing evolved running away from, I think it was a North American lion or something from way back in. It's one of the oldest genetic creatures on our continent. Actually, they evolved from a time where they had to be able to run faster than the cats that hunted them. So, and they're still alive, and those cats are all dead. So. They win apparently, but yeah, there's no modern reason for that animal to be that fast. They don't have a predator that could get anywhere near them speed wise. So they get crazy high speeds. Yep. Cool critter though. A lot of fun. Not a lot of will to live. Honestly, like they die easily.
Once you get an arrow on them.
It's usually over with pretty quick. They don't tend to go too far. Hair is really almost porcupine-y. It's weird. It's prickly.
And have you had more success like intercepting them, or
it's usually an interception? At least for me. I don't know. That's just might be my style or how I do things. I can almost always see what's going on. And they're going over there.
I see them working up this draw.
And I'm going to get in front of them over here. I'm going to run off that way. Now, you're trying to sneak up on them is really hard because they can see everything and there's no cover. There's just not. Like you can sit in a blind over a watering hole or a field, an ag field or something like that, where it's a legal place to hunt, and they'll probably walk by you at some point if you don't mind sitting there for hours.
What's a typical size herd?
It varies a lot.
Yeah,
you find them alone a lot. You'll find 3 or 4 in a pocket.
And usually the bigger ones are solo, right?
Usually, or well, we're pre-rut, so they might be following a doe around, trying to catch a sniff, waiting for the right kind of scent. So you'll see bucks doing that. You'll see buck groups too, but you never see a ton of them all together. I think the most I take that back. If you're hunting an ag field, we found a good ag field last year, and the number of antelope that poured out of that field at one time was a lot, like 100 together at one point. But in general, they're in smaller groups. But if you compress the feed into one small area, they're all going to end up matriculating in that spot.
Yeah.
So.
An antelope is one of those animals that, like, if you can shoot a little further, you are amplifying your odds a lot, right?
That helps.
Because to get 30 yards from antelope's freaking
That's
tough.
hard. Yeah.
You're not talking about getting 30 yards from a mule deer. Getting 30 yards from an antelope is tough.
Oh yeah. No, you
40,
you
tough.
probably
50,
have to
tough.
probably have to extend your range a little bit to hunt
80 or
antelope.
100, It's much more doable in most
For sure.
stalking
For sure.
situations.
Yeah, they're a different critter, man. They're a lot of fun though, and it's one of the first things you can hunt. So I have a hard time not jumping all over that.
Yeah.
I would put in. I would put in every stead I can put in because it's once again it's an early hunt. It's usually in August.
Yeah.
They run into September, but in general it's usually August.
Did you end up drawing anything this year?
No. Well, the antelope in Idaho is a draw, but for archery it's a guaranteed draw.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've drawn nothing. I don't know if I've ever have drawn anything. Period. I used to get like they used to do a second doe tag in Washington, and I would draw that like every other year. And then they still do like the multi-season, and I don't even put in for that. Like, nah, I'll just pick which season I want to hunt, and I'll go off of that. Yeah, no, I haven't drawn anything. I put in.
Yeah.
I'm the unluckiest guy when it comes to that.
Well,
my luck happens elsewhere.
Yeah. You just started getting consistent putting in though, right? Like, and that takes time. 5 years from now, you'll be like, yeah, I drew this, I drew that. Stack a few points.
And honestly, I wouldn't if I didn't use like the Hunting Fool service.
Right.
Because I can't ever keep it straight. There's too many different deadlines and too many different units and all that stuff. If I just sit down and have a conversation with an expert of what my goals are and what I want to do, and they just guideline you out and go through each state, know what you want. If you want to change it later, you can. It's the most useful thing ever, and it's cheap. Like I don't think they charge nearly enough for what they're doing.
Yeah.
But it's great service. So
yeah,
that's what I would suggest.
Yeah, I would recommend that too for somebody who doesn't want to do the research, because the research is infinite.
Oh yeah,
it can be infinite.
I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah.
I'd rather go somewhere and say, hey, where's good? Where can I draw a tag at in like the next 3 years that's good?
Yeah.
Here, this one. Okay, perfect. Put me in for those.
And the other thing that's almost impossible to stay on of is trends. Like, the herd's doing well here, it's not doing well here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
The results of unit X from 3 years ago doesn't mean anything today, possibly, depending on what happened. Like, did a wildfire go through there a year ago?
Or even, how was the summer? How was the winter?
Yeah, there's an excessive drought this year. Like, areas we've moved around the unit that we put in for antelope every year because based off of what's going on. Like 1 year was really good, and the next year was horrible, and it was all where it was raining before, and then the animals move and migrate. So it's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think it was not last year, but the year before, I was the only guy in our group to get an antelope, and there's a guy in the group that didn't even get a chance to shoot at one.
What did you decide on a broadhead that you'll have quivered up?
For antelope, I'm going to be using the Beast Titanium 100 grain 2.3 inch, which should show up today. They weren't originally offering the new titanium ones in different cutting diameters, but we asked, so they started making them. So they're doing a 2.3 and a 2 inch.
Yeah.
In the 100 and I believe the 125.
Well, I'm excited for you to get a opportunity with that rig.
Yeah, it'll be a good unit, man. It'll be a good unit. When's your first hunt there, Sunshine?
I think it just depends on what I decide.
You're being a yokel this year, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much going to try to be just a resident hunter and a good resident hunter. And,
are you going to be a fall bear hunter this year?
I think,
you gonna do some bear hunting?
I think so.
All right.
Even if that backpack's on the side of maybe another hunt that I'm doing.
Sure.
I love bears, and I've actually never shot a fall bear.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think this year is going to be kind of like a sampling of, okay, I'll hunt here, but maybe I'll do a long weekend here and a long weekend here. And I'm just going to try to figure out spots and where I want to be and be pretty exploratory with my effort.
Interesting.
Any
particular animals of focus? Other than bears?
No. Mule deer, potentially early season mule deer.
Okay.
Whitetail.
Are you going to mountain muley or like scabland open country muley? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking open country. I like open country.
Open country's fun.
Yeah, I like open country. Open country.
Okay.
That's my short answer for that.
Okay.
And then we get one general deer tag, so that depends how that goes. But if that doesn't go well, whitetail around our area.
Gotcha.
Like we have some pretty good whitetail opportunities, and not that many guys that strike off for them with a bow in Idaho either.
Yeah, I think it's way commonly rifle hunted.
Yeah, because there's no bait.
Yeah.
So your traditional methods of bow hunting and getting close are
more difficult.
More difficult,
now,
yeah.
I want to say synthetic scents are okay
Yes.
there, which we do stock those things now if you need that. Since it's also baiting's illegal here, it's like, okay, what options do we have here? Synthetic scents definitely help. Most places that don't allow bait also don't allow salt, so you're kind of screwed in that regard.
Yeah.
But synthetic scents are usually still legal and do help. And when done correctly, can be as effective as bait.
Yeah, and there's a few spots you can bow hunt during the rut for whitetails, which is pretty exciting. You know, so yeah, we'll see. I'm just gonna be a little local guy. I'm not gonna stray too far from home unless opportunity arises or whatever, which is nice to have some flexibility too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of nice to not have too much of a structured plan. My September to early October is kind of just up in the air on what I'm
it's good to have open dates
I've
because you
got a
never
couple
know.
dates set up of little trips I'm going on, but outside of that, it's just like, I'm just going to whatever I feel like doing.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know, and there's some good to that as well. You don't have an elk hunt on the calendar?
No. I was going to try to put one together here at the last minute, but I went, nah, I am hunting elk in Washington and Idaho, but not any big trips.
And you're waiting to buy your tag for Idaho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I should probably buy it now. It's August, isn't it?
Yeah.
I should probably buy my Idaho tag. But my Washington stuff, I've got a 4 or 5 day little trip during early. My property burned, so I can't really hunt my own property.
Yeah, have you talked about that on the podcast?
I don't know if we have or not. We should start a GoFundMe.
It's a weird thing to say.
We should start a GoFundMe.
It's a weird thing to say. My property burned.
So I own 160 acres in North Washington, just a little 30, 45 minutes outside of Kettle Falls. If you know where that is. If you don't know where that is,
start giving it enough, people start showing up there.
Dude, there ain't nothing to show up for. It looks like Mordor, not exaggerating. So a dude had a fire in his backyard and it lost control and it went up into the mountains and went over multiple mountain ranges. They finally got it out, but not before my 160 acres of partially timbered land burned to 90% of it. I bet you I have 10 trees left, maybe on the whole place that didn't get burned. My Razor, Polaris Razor, and 24-foot enclosed cargo trailer, unrecognizable, wasted. Probably $10,000 worth of generators and stuff. Because I was prepping for building a house up there. Burned. All in all, I'd say I probably lost about $50,000-ish worth of possessions that I used up there on a regular basis. All my tools, everything just fucking gone. But the timber damage, I don't even know how to put a price on it, honestly. So all the timber's gone. And I've got a local guy coming up, all the neighbors do, trying to do salvage and get whatever timber out of there you can and then take that money and put it back towards replanting. But it looks like I'll be probably looking at a $20,000 to $30,000 bill of replanting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I just done a whole bunch of work on the road up there. I probably got about 20 grand into my road. If I hadn't done that already and put my well in, I would consider abandoning it altogether. Because it's going to be 10 years before it's probably worth a shit again. I mean, it's easy to say, oh yeah, it'll grow back green in a year or two and animals will be eating it. And I get that. I understand that. But when all the cover timber's gone, because everything else around me had been logged and logged relatively recently. So there wasn't like pockets of timber for animals to hide in.
They got a bed somewhere.
Yeah. And now there's just nothing, like nothing. Like I was one of the last places where you could kind of still go bed. And that all burned. I deliberately wasn't logging it because I wanted to keep some cover between me and my neighbor's property. But I mean, I had a neighbor, 2 or 3 neighbors lost their houses. So I didn't have a house. So fortunately it was just possessions and things like that, which, you can replace possessions and you can replace a house too, but geez, like $40,000-$50,000 is a little bit nicer than $500,000 or $1 million on a house to replace it.
What a crazy phone call to get though. Like, hey, I think.
Yeah, Nick called me.
I think your place is scorched.
My buddy Nick, who, he called me and said, "Hey, there's a fire. It's going towards the property right now. I'm going to try to get up there. If I can get up there, I'm going to try to pull the razor out or whatever I can get out of there. and they wouldn't let him up. And he's a border patrol, like he's got a gun and an official truck and
And
all
a
that stuff,
badge
and they wouldn't let him go through.
Yeah.
And it's good too because as soon as he told me that, I pulled up my game cameras and I could see it.
Oh God.
Like I could see it was like yellowish, blackish, like dark. I'm like, whoa, oh God!
Pretty
and then
ominous.
I literally three of the four cameras. No, at one point, all four cameras, I could see fire in them, like actually burning as I was getting pictures of it. And it was like 3 days or 4 days before they let him go up. They finally opened it up, which the forest or the fire guys cut my gate open and just went right through my property. Which hey, they're trying to put a fire out. I get it, but they still would. I think it was 3 or 4 days. Maybe it was 2 to 3 days before they actually let him go up and look. And yeah, sure enough, my Razor inside the enclosed cargo trailer dude, it got so hot it melted the wheels.
Oh my
God. There was no wheel left. Like you're looking at okay, there's a rotor. Where's the wheel? And then there's just molten aluminum all the way across the ground. And the aluminum on the trailer itself, gone. Like, just melted it. Like, it got hot. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's part of life, And the odd part is I've had 2 different instances. I used to hunt with my buddy Greg like a decade ago. And it was around 10 years ago that his property burned, too. Like the place that we'd hunted. Now, fortunately, they had guys flying in with fire retardant and managed to stop his buildings from burning. So he had a little house and a couple of sheds and whatnot and a little shop and managed to save all that. But that recovered relatively quick because he had managed the property, paid somebody to come in and trim everything up and make sure trees are X distance apart, cut down any trees that aren't. So it doesn't really ever get that hot. It's like the under burns, but the trees survive. And I'm sure portions of that I'll probably have some trees survive. But when they come up to log it, if they think they're not going to live, they're going to cut them down. So, and try to salvage something. I got pictures of like coming out the front of my place. It's almost a view from where the structure was going to be built. Looking at the trees, and you could watch 10 minutes go by and you get a picture and this tree's in flames. And then 10 minutes goes by, you get another picture. Okay, the flames are out of that one. And then 20 minutes later, the one next to it's now in flames. You could literally watch them burn one at a time. It was moderately torturing me. And then at night too, you'd get pictures at night where you'd see like this is brightness over here, and it's like something just burst into flame, and then it's gone, and then now it's over here. And it went on for 3 or 4 days.
And then all of a sudden, that camera's not reporting.
I didn't lose a camera.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't lose a camera, and only one of my blinds burned down. I had one blind that was on a wooden platform. That burned down. But the ones that were on metal platforms, they're fine. Yeah.
Did you just offer a lifetime guarantee on fires for gray light blinds?
Yeah, you would think. No, you can. The fabric can burn, but it's actually pretty tough. Like I was shocked. I figured they would, and nope. Because some of it, like tree right next to it, burned. Like it had to have gotten hot. But there is some flame retardant material in there, but it's not like fireproof. But it's harder to get it to ignite in those twilights. Which, hey, we finally have some in stock. Finally. Only took half a year. So
what a tough deal, man. Like,
life's full of challenges, and it's like I could get upset about it, but what good's that going to do? It's like, I'm out $50,000. Time to go buy some new stuff and try to recover it best you can. And does it push your build back a year or two? Probably. Right? Because, I have to replace all the things that I had up there to do that. But it'll help it in the long run. It's a long ways out. So it's going to be the place that it was like my last place of peace. I think that's probably the hardest part is when I went up there, I was at peace. Like I was relaxed. I wasn't thinking about work for the most part. I was just enjoying my environment. And now it's scorched. Unfortunately. But hey, it's part of life.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah, it was. I got up there. Finally got to see it this last weekend.
What would Ted Lasso say?
You'd find a positive in it, just like anything else, man. It's gonna grow back better than it ever did.
Soil's gonna be more fertile.
Soil's gonna be more fertile. It's gonna put me in a position because I hadn't done it yet to actually plant trees. I wanted to. It got logged at one point, and I swear they never replanted it. And now I can capitalize on that need. It's just going to take longer, and that's okay. It'll be good again, and it's in a super unique spot that it'll always be peaceful. I probably won't be hunting on my property for a while. I'll probably have to go out into the national forest and hunt with the boars. But it is what it is, It's just part of life. You got to live and learn, and you got to have experiences, and I'm thankful for experiences that I get, good and bad. Bad experiences, there's still things that you have the opportunity to grow from and gain strength from. And you get to see what your resilience really is.
Yeah.
How capable am I of really working my way through this and not crawling into a hole of despair, right? Because it'd be very easy to do.
And fortunately, you're not at a stage of life at which that's going to put you in a really compromised position, right?
Yeah, it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm retired. I only have this much income, and I'm out this much money, and I can't do anything. So I guess I just have to sell it and move on. That kind of thing. I'll recover from it.
Because that does happen to some people, especially, because we're in an area relatively prone to fires, and because of that, some areas can't even get fire insurance now, and
yep.
Some people still have houses in those areas, and if they get scorched, they're out of a house.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. I ask all those people in California couldn't get fire insurance.
Right.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But hey, time goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, looks like the fire's out.
Fire sale on the website?
Aren't you funny?
No.
No. No, I need to make money so I can replace that stuff. I can't just get rid of it.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, fire's out. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that story with the world. I've never had anything burned down, so
it's a different feeling.
it's tough.
It's a different feeling.
Tough deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the pod and learned something, and are getting ready for your hunt seasons, or just getting out and shooting your bow. Hopefully we got you a couple checklist items that'll get you closer to being ready for your season. And if you got any good ideas for our next couple podcasts, drop them down below in the comments. We'll do the next 3 or 4 or 5, make them more hunting focused, and see what kind of stuff we can share up.
Sounds like a plan.
That's the pod.
See you.